I was able to make universe mode in WWE 2K25 a lot more fun with 3 quick and easy tips. With random and chaotic injuries, returns, and debut storylines, they're quick and easy to set up, so let's hop into how you can do it for yourself. The key to having a fun universe mode is with shocking twists, so tip number 1 helps you create some shocking injuries in less than 60 seconds. Having a superstar being injured for a period of time will then allow them to have a fun storyline for when they come back. There are a couple ways you can do this and make it random, but one of these ways is not by using the in-game rivalry action, because it just doesn't work and honestly isn't any fun. If you want quick and easy injuries to happen randomly, then this first way is what you want to do. At the start of every month, use a random number generator from 1 to 10, and if it lands on 7, then a superstar will be injured. Then randomly select a superstar from your roster that will become injured. Then generate a number again, but this time instead of 1 to 10, make it 1 to 2. When you generate it, if it's a 1, that means the injury happens naturally in a match. But if you roll a 2, then they get injured by being attacked by another superstar, which you will also choose at random. And just like that, you have an injury storyline set up where they have a big return when he or she returns from their natural injury, or a blood feud storyline when their superstar returns to take on their attacker. Also, a side tip, the best way to randomly choose a superstar from your roster is to go to edit shows, check the roster you want, and see how many superstars are on that roster, and then go back to your random number generator. You'll edit it from 1 to however many superstars are on that roster. You'll generate your number. In this case, I got 34. So I head back over to my participants, and I would count down on my show, for this case Raw. I would go down until I hit the number 34, and whatever number that lands on, say 34 is Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed would be that random superstar picked for this injury angle. The second best way to have more fun and random moments in your universe mode and set it up within just a minute or 2 is with huge returns. This can coincide with your injury angle that we just talked about, or it can involve a superstar who left the WWE and is wanting to make their return for a second run with a huge return in your universe mode. What I like to do is have a random return on the Raw after WrestleMania and another one randomly in the year. When starting up my universe mode, I create a list of potential superstars to have return and have them downloaded from community creations and ready to go at any time that I need them. Then when it's time for my Raw after Mania card to be booked, I randomly select a superstar from my list using a random number generator or a wheel. Once this random superstar is selected, it will cause a whole lot of chaos by immediately shaking up a division and causing a big change of plans and excitement. Then for my second random return of the year, I handle it the same way I do for handling who's going to get injured. So I head over to the number generator right after I finish a PLE, and I'll generate a random number from 1 to 10. If it lands on 7, then I'll have a random superstar return for that month. If it lands on anything else, no superstar returns in that month. You can go even further with it by having a random number generator or a wheel to decide who that superstar's first feud will be once they make their big return. You can also have a wheel from 1 to 2. If it's a 1, they return as a face. If it's a 2, they return as a heel. Or you can have it set as 1 to 2. If it sets at 1, they'll return at the start of a month before a PLE, or 2, they'll make a random return at the upcoming PLE. Or if you want, you can go more simple with it. If you already have a feud in mind, ready to go for that superstar that's returning, then don't randomize it like that. The choice is up to you. The third way to shake up your universe mode with some randomness in less than a minute is with debuting new stars from NXT. Every year I hold a draft after Backlash so I can shake up my rosters a little bit. And during the draft, I have Raw and SmackDown each draft 1 male and 1 female superstar from NXT. The way I do it though isn't by assigning who I think each brand should draft or who I have plans for already, but instead I let a wheel decide who gets called up instead. To keep it realistic and to allow my universe mode to progress how I want it to, I do limit which NXT stars I put on the wheel rather than putting the entire roster on the wheel. This way, it's still a surprise who'll get called up and who won't, while also making sure though that I'm getting new superstars I want to play with rather than some no-names from NXT that I have no interest in seeing on my main roster. If your roster's getting a bit stale, don't be afraid to call up more than a couple of NXT stars for each brand. Just because I only do 1 male and 1 female per brand each year doesn't mean what I do is best and not what you should be doing. So it's your universe mode, do what you want with it and how you think your universe mode should progress. Now that I've shown you the 3 main tips for a fun, random, and chaotic universe mode and how to set it all up in literally less than a minute, let me show you how I look to implement all these tips into my universe mode. So for my universe mode, we just finished WrestleMania, which means it's time for the Raw after WrestleMania. So what that means is it's time for a new random debut star. So for that, I'm going to go over to my random wheel with a bunch of names. I'm going to randomly pick a superstar, men and women, any are up for grabs. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see who we get as the new addition in our example. And for this one, it ends up being Mercedes Moné returning as Sasha Banks to my universe mode. So I'm not sure if I want her to be a heel or a face. She's done great heel work for AEW, but if she returns, she's going to get a big pop from the crowd because she is loved, let's be real. So I'm not sure if I want her as a heel or a face. Let's generate it. It's a 2. 1 would be a face, 2 would be a heel, so Sasha Banks will return as a heel. And then when it comes to her storyline, I'm just going to let the game really pick who her first opponent will be for her first feud. I could randomize it, but I want this to be quick and easy, and it was quick and easy to set up. It only took a couple minutes to do, put all the names in, generate. There you go. So just like that, I have Sasha Banks returning to my universe mode. Okay, we're a month later now in my universe mode. We're now past Backlash, so that means it is time for the draft. You know what that means. Let's hop over to the wheel and find out who the NXT debuts will be. Okay, so first up will be the women. Raw will get the first choice. We'll go ahead and spin the wheel. And Raw will get Gigi Dolan as their first woman NXT member. And now it's time for SmackDown to find out who they'll be getting from NXT for their woman. And SmackDown will be getting Sol Ruca from NXT. Now over to the men, we'll start with Raw once again and getting their NXT superstar for their men pick. And Raw will be getting Javon Evans. Now over to SmackDown to find out who they'll be getting from NXT for their men selection. And SmackDown gets Trick Williams finally getting that call up. And just like that, those are the NXT call-ups randomly chosen for you to shake up your new divisions, probably for your mid-card for all 4 of them. But one cool thing also you can do is keep it random. I would sometimes do is I'll go through my participants, I will list them all out into a document, I'll copy them, put them over to ChatGPT, and have ChatGPT go ahead and draft my rosters for each division based on what I give it. That's also a great way to shake it up. Not a main talking point of this video, I've talked about it in previous videos, but it's a great way to shake it up if you're still watching and want another idea to shake up your universe mode. But that one will take a little bit of time, because you have to go one by one typing out every single roster member. But it's a fun way to change it up. Okay, we're at the start of June now, just finished a PLE, so you know what that means. We got to roll to see if we're going to have an injury this month. Like I said before, if I roll a 7, then someone will be injured. And we got a 7. Let's find out who it is. So Raw has 88 superstars, so I'm going to roll 188 and get a random superstar to be injured. And I get 80. Hopping back over to the PS5, we'll head over to the Raw roster. Participants. We'll go all the way down 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80. I have a promo character, but anyway, we'll call it Seth Rollins, which is pretty huge, which is great because I can have a huge storyline for him when I come back where he can maybe chase the world title. Maybe I have the vision right now. So maybe Braun Breaker, he's the one that's set to really be the next guy after Seth. So maybe I have Braun Breaker attack Seth, keeping him out, and you get a Seth Rollins face return, or you get a huge feud between him and Braun Breaker. Just like that, it took literally less than a minute. We have an amazing storyline idea right off the bat, just like that. So if you didn't believe these are quick and easy tips to actually have fun, well then I just proved you wrong, because this sounds like an amazing storyline to me. Another thing you can do with the injuries though, what I like to do is use a random number generator from 1 to 12, because that way you can say how long the injury will be. If it's a 1, then it'll be 1 month, 12 months. So in this case, I'll roll 1 to 12. I got 4. Because my storyline is going to be Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, I think 4 would actually be a really good amount, even if I didn't want to roll it, because he shouldn't be out a long time, but just enough time where Braun Breaker can really, you know, be the guy and prove himself just for Seth Rollins to then come back. So rolling it randomly isn't always the best case to do, depending on the storyline, if you already have one in mind. But if it's maybe a random injury in a match, let's say, then we could randomly roll it so you know how long they'll be out for. I think it gives you a better idea of how to book.